Good evening. I'm Robert Wakely, and this is the entry-level onboarding and training program for Fine Art Port Parking Instructional Design. The need for this instruction is to structure the training process for entry-level valet attendants at Fine Art Port Parking. As it states here, there's a variety of different managers training new employees over different shifts, which is different times of day, over months and years. So the training process has not been structured, to my knowledge, ever in Fine Airport's 35 years of operation. The main issues that I address in this project are the expectations of customer service, the specific processes that a valet should utilize in their main two tasks, which are taking in a customer vehicle and bringing down a returning customer vehicle. We call it a key call. And then finally, and probably most important, which is the uniform and consistent, basically expression of the customer service duties of a valet attendant when interacting with non-valet customers, which is really common. The learner analysis basically is that most entry-level valet attendants are youngish, 20 to 30 years of age, early middle age, as it were. Most are Caucasian, most are not bilingual, most are very fit and can drive luxury automobiles. Most entry level learners think that it's about just being able to drive a car, and they have no idea all the expectations of communication, such as walkie talkie microphone use, and all the physical fitness required beyond that. The environmental and context analysis basically is that Tulsa International Airport and Fine Airport Parking are a very large area. Fine Airport Parking can have 2,100 plus automobiles. It's a 10 plus acre campus that straddles train track as well as Memorial Drive. So there is no specific classroom, but it's a very large area that training goes up to 5 levels. And there's a lot of nomenclature for the different areas that we utilize at Fine Airport Parking. The functional analysis that I included basically is a expansion of the 3 or 4 enabling objectives mentioned earlier. The course and unit design, basically the fun parts are the practice for each objective. Taking in a vehicle, I had the students basically just practice with each other in little skits, if you will, acting out the intake process, trading off maybe acting out improper service and then proper service, basically having a little fun with it, but after each skit, talking about what could be learned and what could be done better. Enabling objective number 2 was to the retrieval process. We call it a key call, bringing down a car. Basically, we just build up to that, learning how to start the car, then learning how to drive on flat land in an effective way, hitting no cones in a cone course, and then taking that cone course onto ramps. And, I think it'd be a little fun to have the entry-level students do driving challenge courses for time because that's very much simulating the real environment of trying to bring down returning customer's car in less than a minute. You have to run very fast. You have to drive in tight turns. Watch out for traffic. Watch out for people walking the lot. It's a stressful and very dangerous situation. Finally, objective number 3 is the customer service. So basically, once again, we're just having them act out different customer service scenarios. Some of that is where we actually just teach them how to air up a tire, how to wash a windshield, things like that. But also just having handicapped customers, having customers who are inebriated or, in a variety of different situations where they're going to have needs that the valet attendant will help out there. Here's my instructional map. Goes from the overarching instructional objective to the unit objectives to the steps of practice, and then yellow at the bottom to the assessments that we have for each objective, each enabling objective there. So here's my written out objectives once again. We've kind of been over those once or twice. This is a little pass-fail exam that I created for the retrieval process. It's pass-fail because if you hit the car on something, if you don't do it fast enough, it's not a really subjective part of the process. There are very subjective parts of customer service, but the valet retrieval process is basically get it done properly, or you've hit a car or something like that and it has gone terribly wrong. The developed activities basically were watching past footage of crashes that happened on Fine Airport Parking's lot. It really brings into reality people getting hit by cars. We have hundreds of surveillance cameras going at all times, so we capture every time a car gets hit by another car, people get hit, customers get hit. That's much more rare, but our valet attendants get hit. We have a detail facility on the lot, which so it's a very safety-based training there. We conduct a safety tour. Like I said, we do a flatland and then on-ramps driving course, and then the build-up process to having the valets at high speed bring down valet cars for the retrieval process there. Implementation plan was basically the 5 Ws. The instructor will start out being either myself or the director of operations for Fine Airport Parking. Obviously, myself and that individual will be moving along after a number of years, and so the director of operations will conduct it. As stated earlier, the where is basically all over Tulsa International Airport, Fine Airport Parking Facility, which is a large expanse of acreage. And I think an interesting thing would be when. I think it'd be really cool if the training was conducted not just during daytime, but a lot of the entry-level valets do overnight work to start out their first month of shifts or two. So doing some training in early morning, doing some training at evening, doing some training at high noon. The when, I think, would be a really interesting thing to play with on this training process that goes on for about a month, I've forecasted. The evaluation plan is perception, learning, and performance, basically trying to prove that this course gathered enough data to hold water. And we do interviews, we do data collection on the number of customer complaints for each entry-level valet, and basically have a 6-month and a 12-month review of how many customer complaints or customer positive emails we get in, and review that data, and be always learning from that. So that's my project, and I really appreciate you all's time very much. Thank you.